So we have a video from Macy Gray. She was on Piers Morgan, and she started talking about the gender stuff, gender ideology, gender reassignment, and she gave her opinion. She was very honest and forthcoming about how she felt about things. And then she got challenged by people on the left, and then she backed up. And apparently is changing her mind. But what do you guys think? You can post in the comments below.
If I asked you what a woman is, what would you say?
I would say a human being with boobs. You have to start there.
Yeah, I mean, the dictionary is quite straightforward. It just says a human, adult, female, right?
No, a lot of people, that's a little getting confusing. The whole he, she, they, that's getting a little
And I'm not
round.
sure why, really. It's a bit like this whole issue of transgenders in sport. I support all trans rights to fairness and equality.
Me too.
But not where you have people born to obvious physical superior bodies.
Me too.
Transitioning and then thrashing the women at their sport.
I totally agree. And I will say this, and everybody's going to hate me, but as a woman, just because you go change your parts doesn't make you a woman.
Right.
Sorry.
You feel that?
Damn.
I know that for a fact. Like, if you want me to call you a her, I will, because that's what you want. But that doesn't make you a woman just because I call you a her and just because you got a surgery.
Because people do feel that
people
there's
are gonna piss
biological
off about
sex
that
and then there's gender identity. That you can identify as whatever you like
You
in
can call
terms
yourself
of a
whatever you
gender,
want.
right? That's the
Totally.
freedom we live in.
Absolutely.
But actually, you can't change the mechanics of biological sex. They are what they are.
Well, just women go through just a completely unique experience, and surgery or finding yourself doesn't change that. Being a little girl is a whole epic book, and you can't have that just because you want to be a woman.
I mean, you know that when people like J.K. Rowling have said this, they get attacked, they get abused.
Yeah.
The cancel culture mob comes from me. She gets called.
They came for
and so on. You might get the same for saying it.
But it's the truth. And I don't think you should be called transphobic just because you don't agree with, there's a lot of, judgment and throwing, stones at people for just saying what it is. You know what I mean?
Damn.
That
was awesome.
She was crying. She was really feeling that.
If I asked you what
go towards the end. Look how she felt. She was really expressing herself.
She had tears in her eyes?
She did. They were falling down her face.
I didn't see that.
You should have looked a little
I guess
harder.
I was not paying attention.
No, you were just listening to the words. But I think you should look at that one more time.
Saying it.
But it's the truth. And I don't think you should be called transphobic just because you don't agree with,
There are tears in those eyes rolling down her face.
Really? Where?
Stones at people for just saying
Look
what
at her
it is,
face.
you know what I mean?
Oh, she's sweating. That's just
No,
oil.
no,
That's
no,
oil. It's a reflection of the lights.
No. No.
It's a reflection of the lights.
I'm gonna agree with you that she meant it though 100%. Like in other words, she meant it.
See, that's what happens.
Here's the because she didn't really mean it 100% if she
of course.
took it back,
Miss Caroline.
Okay.
and that's spineless. Because I agreed with everything she said.
She meant those words.
Innocent child
And
of God
she
would
really
never
did feel that because
partake in anything of the nature.
I will say, as a girl, there are experiences that
What's a girl?
I'm gonna explain it if you want me to.
She ain't gonna go back on it.
Okay. What's a girl?
If you want me to,
What's a woman?
I'll explain that to you soon. But
Okay.
as a little girl, I remember like certain things that were very monumental to me. I mean, my dad would come home from driving back from Orlando just to buy me dresses, like princess dresses from Orlando. Like he would go to Disney and literally buy tickets to just buy me princess dresses. And I'd come home to getting to try things on and feel like a princess. And it was experiences that girls would dream of, like having life-size Barbie and you were the same size as her and you could take her clothes off and put them on and feel like you're Barbie, or your life is going to be a certain way and just feel like the little girl should, the way that Disney seriously fucks your brain up, but like kind of pictures
The
how
Disney
like
fantasy.
not a Disney
gonna
fantasy,
find the
because
one.
as you grow up you realize it's not real, but as a little girl it paints you a very safe place to be. And I think that
Kind of used to be.
Can I
safe
agree
place.
with you?
Yeah.
But at the same time, let's just explore this other possibility that boys have that same feeling.
I'm sure they do.
Does that make them, because they desire that same thing and they want that and they want to be the little princess in the little, tutu dress or whatever, does that make them a woman or little girls at the time?
I mean, do they want to be prince or do they want to be princess?
Well, the reality is you have males at that age that want to be the princess.
Okay, so they can explore that.
All right, does it make them a male or a female?
That's up to them. Later in life, they have a choice to make, but they can still do whatever they want. They can still act as a little boy should and still explore the little boy things that they should be exploring, like soccer, baseball, t-ball, like, I don't know,
Like
flag
what-
football, all of those things. And I think that they really do need to explore whatever, because if that is their something within them that they feel like they need to explore, let them explore it. Who cares? I put a dress on one of my neighbors. His mom came over, saw that shit. He never came back over my house ever again. But guess what? It was a Disney princess dress.
Yeah, but why can't those little boys just be feminine males and still
Well,
be
yeah,
males?
I
Or
think that
why can't the girls just be tomboys, but they're still female?
I'm a tomboy, but I'm also a girl that can get dressed up and do whatever the hell she wants to and look great on it.
Yeah,
And I think that men can do the same thing. I think that men should be able to have a little bit of like a metrosexual thing going on. And I think that men who take care of themselves actually do a really good job. But there also is like a line that is drawn when it goes too far and they want to explore a whole nother thing.
Yeah, and I hear you, and maybe it's because I'm a physician.
Yeah.
So for me, when it comes to
Dr.
gender,
Haley.
a male is a male, and there's certain anatomical things that define them as a male, and a female is a female,
Correct.
and there's anatomical things that define them as a female.
Right.
And if they identify as something different, it doesn't make them that different thing. It just makes them a different version of what they actually are. In other words, you still have the male genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a male. You're still a man, but you have a feminine characteristic.
Right. Absolutely.
And what is wrong with them just being comfortable in that and saying, I'm a male, but with feminine characteristics? Why do they have to identify as females? You can't, just
They
like,
don't have to.
if I feel like, barking, I can't identify as a dog. I'm not a dog, because
Well, technically, I saw a girl the other day on, I think it was Libs at TikTok, saying she identified as like a blue jay or something like that. And she referred to her as like a bird self. And she had some pronouns that I don't remember what they were, but it was nomenclature was something to do with a blue jay. It was like, I mean, that's just, it's almost like you have to memorize an additional name to go with somebody's, instead of just saying, hey, I'm Bob, or hey, I'm Erica. You add all these other things in front of these additional words. It's like, that's like saying you got to memorize somebody's first name and their last name and their pronouns and all that stuff. It's
And
when
their
you
middle.
first meet somebody, like for me, I got to see somebody a lot of times for I remember their name most of the time, because it's just I meet a lot of people, and it takes me 2-3 times typically for most people to remember the name. And so to
Yeah.
remember all the pronouns, all the other stuff, it's like, come on, man.
I don't think you'd be like, let's say that, and it's hard to imagine with you in particular, Corey, but like, if you identified as feminine, not as a female, but as feminine, it's hard to imagine because I don't see that in you. But if you did, I could understand where you'd want to be respected for that, but I couldn't understand. I would have a hard time you
We all
understanding.
have masculine and feminine energies. It's just which one is dominant. And for you, it's masculine. For me, it's masculine. You, it's feminine. I assume, right?
Yeah, you gotta ask her. for
Okay,
it.
excuse me. You gotta ask the question. So you said you were a tomboy. So, because what's happening a lot now, especially the younger kids, is that they're saying if you're a tomboy and you like boy things, that means that you're a boy, and so therefore you should transition. You should cut your boobs off and take puberty blockers and what they do to create a penis is like I saw one of them. They took a thing off the arm and they make a penis out of it, out of like the vagina. It's like they reverse everything.
That's not what they do.
And well, one of them I saw had they had the scar, where that part of the phallic came from skin on the arm, some kind of graft or something like that. And so this particular person then wanted to detransition, and they were going through a tough time. And what they just realized later on is they were just gay. But because they were raised in the school system and were taught this ideology that, just like some of the tomboyish, you would have been encouraged to transition to a boy. And if you're a little girl and they're telling you these things, you're like, well, this kind of feels, these are the adults. And so you got a lot of, look at all the celebrities. What's his name? Liv Schreiber, famous actor. One of his sons is a girl. There's decided that she's a girl. Is got long hair, the whole 9 yards. Even one of Elon Musk's twin sons is a girl and is basically separating from him supposedly and not wanting to acknowledge that she's even related to Elon Musk now that she's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I know him. This is Ray Donovan, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Should I
I'm
record
confused. So
this?
what's happening here? The transitioning to a girl?
Yes, exactly.
Uh,
I think even Will Smith's kid.
Yeah, did that.
What is it, Willow or
It-
Jaden, right?
No, actually, it was Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, it was Dwayne Wade. Okay.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade's kid. That's his new
well,
daughter.
It's now his daughter, because she's transitioned apparently.
Yeah, no, just because I like to wear sneakers doesn't mean and I call it a tomboy thing. Like, I prefer to be outside. I like nature. A lot of girls don't like that. They'd rather be at the Ritz. I don't care to do that. I'd rather be on the water or in a bikini. In a bikini, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'd like to do more outdoorsy things. A lot of girls don't like to do that.
At least it's not swim shorts. You're wearing a bikini.
Exactly.
There's some girls that will wear a bikini
Yeah,
top
never. You
with
would
the
wanna be on
never
the
catch
beach.
me in that. I'm in a thong bikini every time.
Yeah.
It's a problem when I have to be around family.
But for me, it would
Oh,
be.
they have what is your family really conservative?
I mean,
religious or
I
something?
have my mom's side of the family is Israeli, and my grandfather's kind of like a rabbi, but yeah,
Damn. And you're the black sheep of the family.
so one of yeah.
But from my perspective, okay, you're a female and you have certain characteristics, but it doesn't make sense that you would ever identify as a male.
No, and I don't think a
But-
male should have to identify if he wants to do like more of a feminine thing, because as a yogi, I'll say this: our right side is our masculine, our left side is our feminine, and every human has that. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or how you're going to identify, as a they or I'm sorry, I'm really bad with pronouns at
Yeah,
the moment,
that's okay.
but everybody, biologically, that's how our energy runs. So
I mean, can't we all identify as we are biologically? And I understand there's some people that are in the middle that's harder to distinguish
and they can
whether
do
male or
whatever they
female.
want.
But can't you attract, if you want a partner, can't you attract who that is, identifying as the gender that you actually are God given with, even though you have a more feminine or more male characteristic about you? Why do you have to change your gender
You don't have to.
to?
You don't have to, but you can if that's like what you want. It's just to make yourself happy at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, it's for you. And I think that's how it should be left. And I don't really think people should be inserting themselves into other people's like business, because whatever happens behind closed doors, like, are we really gonna meddle into like our neighbors' windows? Like, I don't care what happens next door to
Yeah.
me. Like, I'm busy with my life. I don't know. Got tomboy features.
Okay.
Why I'm not a transgender baby.
Yes. Why are you not a transgender baby,
I'm not a transgender kid.
Caroline?
Oh wait,
Wake
on.
up! Wake up! Caroline went to sleep.
She's
us.
on.
She's
No.
spaced out.
It was on her
No,
camera.
it was on me.
She was playing Space Invaders or something. on her phone.
Yeah.
Or
even though
Angry
I'm
Birds or
a
something.
tomboy, yeah, that doesn't make me have to be transgender just because I like outdoorsy things. I think that
But you would be encouraged today if you were a little girl.
I think that
growing up in our
society is
current school system.
definitely pushing 100%. Like, oh, you like boy things, you like blue, you don't like pink, you're a dude. Like, I disagree. Like, I love to put makeup on. I love to throw a pair of YSLs on. Like, let's go. Like, love to look pretty.
YSLs? What's that?
Yves Saint Laurent.
Huh?
Yves Saint Laurent.
Oh,
Sorry.
she likes expensive things.
No, I just like
She likes
to
nice things.
I like nice things and I take care of them. That's not the point. Like, I don't think
She's so bourgeois.
I'm a tomboy, but I'm a girl. Like, I'm at the end of the day, I'm a female. Like, that is my biology. Like, I was born with certain chromosomes that will never change. I took genetics, I took biology, I took biochemistry, I took chemistry. Like, I know the science, I know how this works. And I know that people do have a soul. I know that there is a different part of this, but I can't physically and spiritually like relate to that because that's not who I am. But if a school was pushing that on me and I was younger and I was in a different mindset and confused and going through all these different changes like in puberty, I wouldn't know what to do if somebody came to me like a school guidance counselor and gave me something, said, here, take this, it will make you feel so much better. And I didn't know what it was. And they were giving me testosterone for all I knew. I'd be fucked. Like, I don't know what to say.
You wouldn't be happy about the hair on your chest?
No, I would be livid. I'd be livid. I'd be like, what's happening? Where are my boobs? I don't have them, but where are they? I'd want to know what's happening to me as a woman, even though I like to have fun in a boyish way. Like, I like to have the outdoor fun. I like to do guy things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a girl's guy.
I would look at it and say, even if you weren't the way you are, meaning, okay, let's say you were the tomboy, but you didn't like to be done up and didn't like the makeup and stuff, and really, really were more masculine in your qualities, like
Okay.
didn't have the feminine qualities at all. Why do you have to identify as a male? Why can't you be a female that just has more masculine qualities?
You wouldn't identify as a male. You identify as just you.
I agree with you, but that's not what's being pushed in this woke society.
Right. And I don't understand it. I don't understand why they're pushing all of this, having to have a label on everything. It's not a thing for me. And I don't think that the pressure that they're putting on children, the pressure that they're putting on the entire society through social media, through schooling, through everything, I just think it needs to be cancel cultured? Is that that what we're going with? Is that the woke term?
Just be you. I think is what
Yeah,
you're
you
saying.
have to
That's
be
what
the
I'm
most
saying. Why can't
authentic
people just
self.
be you? But why can't the you be the male or female according to your biological who you are?
You do you,
And your
baby. You do you, honey.
male or
Do
female
whatever makes you happy.
qualities be expressed the way you want to.
Whatever floats your boat, man. It's your body.
Mm-hmm. Inboard, outboard, whatever kind you want. Do it.
Motorboat or not.
You got 'em, do it. If not, figure it out.
So Macy Gray comes back to her. She comes back and she says, all of you coming on my page, threatening me and calling me names just because I said something you don't agree with. Be whatever you want to be and fuck off. And then the rage mob came for Macy Gray. And what happened? So apparently, now that the rage mob has come for Macy Gray, she's backpedaling and says LGBTQ people are heroes and says she's learned a lot following the backlash over her Piers Morgan interview where she said, quote, changing your parts doesn't make you a woman. That was from the Daily Mail in the UK. So when somebody says they've learned a lot, that's kind of like liberals when they were saying, okay, sorry, I was wrong. I've learned a lot. I've been educated. I shouldn't have said those things. So she bent the knee. But the bottom line is her first response, that's how she really felt. She only bent the knee because she didn't want to get canceled. She didn't want it to affect the bottom line or her paycheck. So she just gives a fake apology.
That's the problem with
Instead
Hollywood.
of standing up for her principles. But hey, money cuts a lot of ties. So J.K. Rowling, she backs Macy Gray over criticism of transgender activism. This is from Rebel News. So J.K. Rowling has spoken out on the transgender issue and what's going on in sports with transgender women competing in women's sports and how it's unfair. So did Joe Rogan. And so because she's on the left, J.K. Rowling, people tried to cancel her, but she's a fucking billionaire. She's got fuck you money. And she didn't care. And so she's still speaking her mind. And so she supports Macy Gray. Even though Macy Gray bent the knee. Because she doesn't have fuck you money like J.K. Rowling does. That's why the government declared uncle when they sued Bill Gates for his antitrust, which clearly Microsoft was a monopoly. But, the government just said, oh, okay. Because they outspent them.